Hello, everyone, to day 16 here on 25 Days of Christmas on Off the Wall. I got Chris with me, and we're going to be reviewing Merry Little Batman on Amazon Prime. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Not the first Christmas Batman movie, but we'll ignore Batman Returns, I guess. bit darker than that.
True. I'm going to throw it to you for some non-spoiler thoughts of this movie. What are they?
I thought it was good. I was really surprised after like the first 15 minutes. I was like, how are they going to stretch this out to like an hour and 40 movie? Like I was like, oh, movie's over. Wait, but there's still more time to go. What the hell's going? What are they going to do with this? But no, it was really fun. Quite nice, wee charming movie.
Yeah.
For the amount of time it took, it was still very fun.
Yeah, there was a moment in the movie that I was like, oh, we're going longer than this. Okay.
Yeah, I felt like it should be a 15-minute short, but they managed funnily enough, it never actually got that boring, to be fair. It was entertaining the whole way through.
I was very entertained by this movie. I really like the interaction between Batman, Damian, Alfred, the Joker, and all the villains, the Batman villains in this movie. They were fun. You get a little bit of Bane, which anytime that I see Bane now after the Harley Quinn animated,
you
I
can't
just
help
laugh.
you can't help thinking of that voice in your head whenever you see it. Now it's like, I'm gonna blow up Gotham. Blow up this big shop.
So I really like this movie, and I know Mike, he taking a little break this December, but he texted me saying how much he loved this movie and he would have loved to talk about it here and review, but he's very busy this December.
Well, there you go. There's a seal of approval for you right there if you need one. From the biggest Batman fan you know, possibly.
And he has several Batman podcasts, I believe. But anyways,
the only man that does more Batman podcasts than Kevin Smith.
Well, let's go straight into spoilers here.
Uh-oh.
Damian is a menace.
Damian is a fucking terror. He is. Which I'm sure we'll get to later on, but
I can't even think about having a child like Damian running around the house, ruining everything, ruining that Picasso, and then ruining the town as little Batman because and the villains being a little bit true about you kind of ruined Christmas.
Yeah, we were going to ruin it, but now you've done it for us. Go ahead. Yeah. Here, we even upgraded your belt to get you your special villain belt at the end.
Well, we have Bruce Wayne. He decides that he's going to give Damian his Christmas gift early, and it's a utility belt with all these safe things in it. And Damian's a little disappointed. He wants the cool batarang and bat this and bat that. He wants to be a hero just like his father, who technically hasn't been very busy heroing because he has made Gotham completely safe when Damian was still in the womb to protect Gotham for him. So thoughts on that setup of Gotham is now the safest place in the world.
I actually did love that. It was the scene where they've got instead of Arkham Asylum, it's Arkham Daycare, and it's all the wee kids outside. Yeah. I was laughing at it. Batman and the wee street sweeper going along. I've cleaned up crime, so I'm just going to sweep up the streets of the city, literally.
I mean, have you ever seen Gotham that bright before?
No, I still don't know what the Joker was doing all of those years, because as far as I know, he didn't get put away. Has he just been resting?
Yeah. When you think that they were all put in jail, and then when they show flashbacks, he's just on his couch watching
Yep.
TV, like, oh, Batman has made the entire city safe. Can't do anything now. Let's talk about the villain's motivation here. So when Batman does make Gotham safe, they thought that doing the crime was the fun part, but it was really doing the crime together.
It's all
And
about family.
it's all about family and friends, right? And Joker misses his friends and wants to do crimes with them again and decides that he's going to ruin Christmas. Damien helps a little bit without knowing
Just a wee teeny
a
bit.
wee bit. But thoughts on the Joker, the villain's motivation here? And like, even though they're the villains, you kind of are like, oh.
The thing is, you always forget they exist for most of the movie because it's once again it's Damien out there causing all that chaos. And you're like, oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
right. Oh, that's right. There's still villains in Gotham. Whatever they were doing this whole time, and they're just kind of doing crime in the background with him running about causing all the chaos. Like it never loses its focus. It's always on Damien,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not till you get to the end you go, wait a minute, villains are kind of right. Kids are monsters. I don't think that's the message I was meant to take from it personally, but maybe it's having nieces and nephews. I'm just going, yeah, you know what, this tracks.
I was thinking, do you see your wee nephew a little bit in Damien?
Little bit at times. Oh god, it's the way. Oh, poor Alfred in this movie as well.
Right?
Well, when he goes and steals all the marshmallows and he's climbing down, he's like, Alfred goes, "This is tragedy." All the marshmallows. He's like, "Oh, it's all right. Go out, get some. Take as long as you need. Take as long as you need."
Yeah,
Just
he's
I'll have the
gonna
house
make
to
his
myself.
famous hot cocoa, and
Oh,
he needs
famous.
marshmallows for it.
I was actually surprised. I thought Alfred was going to be mute the entire film when it started until he spoke there. I was like, "Oh, character actually has a voice."
Yeah,
I thought
I mean, you gotta have the British voice, I guess. But that reminds me of seeing Alfred making Christmas food, or it's like, oh, this is my favorite thing that I ate around Christmas time in England, and I'm like, that food looks disgusting. And I just want to say, as someone who has been in England and has tried a full English breakfast, and then now is seeing this food, I just have to assume that all British food is disgusting.
no. In fairness, Damien makes some worse food in the movie. That microwave abomination that he makes with like pizza and ice cream. In fact, now
Yeah,
that looks like that looks like a
that
kid.
looks awful.
Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to take all this crap and put it together.
Hmm.
In fact, that's the scene as well. I love the fact that the cat's named Selena.
Yes.
His Catwoman's not in the film at all, so they've just got a wee cat named Selena.
Yeah.
And when they finally said that, I was like, never know why they've got a cat.
And I kind of like the Home Alone reference because you have
Yeah,
these two bandits coming in, and I thought they were going to be the main
yep, the main
villains
villains. Yep,
of the movie, and I thought it was going to be a Home Alone type thing, just with
yeah,
Damian Wayne.
yeah. See, that's how I thought they were going to stretch it out for that long. When
Hmm.
they finally brought those villains, and I was like, oh, so that's exactly as you say. This could be a Home Alone parody. And it's
Hmm.
like, oh no, those villains just disappear. Well, technically speaking, they don't disappear. They get their asses kicked and thrown
Yeah.
outside. Because I thought they were meant to be two known villains, but apparently not. I think they're just random goons apparently,
Yeah.
who have no purpose apart from that wee setup.
Thoughts on the bat suit for Damien and how he got it and the message from Batman there?
Oh, that's what I was thinking of earlier on when you're mentioning the bat suit and the belt getting taken away. It reminded me a lot of what's the Spider-Man movie, like where Iron Man takes the suit away from him, like you're not ready for this yet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure if that was a deliberate parallel, but I can't help but think they must have known what they were doing there somehow. But yeah, I thought it was nice. The fact he's got Batman in his head, it's like, oh, it's a heartbreaking scene. It's like, says the suit, I'd hug you if you weren't just in my head. And I was like,
Or just
oh,
in my suit, yeah.
yeah. Oh, it's like, oh, it's like, because you kind of feel like that little kid, like, oh, my dad's run away and he doesn't pay any attention to me.
Mhm.
Now this suit's giving me all the attention.
Right.
It actually feels kind of sad in a way.
Yeah. AI Bat Dad.
The AI bad dad.
I also love the commentary on two separate things. One on Commissioner Gordon, where it's like, oh, don't call him. He just puts everything back on me. And then you see that later when he goes, don't worry, I'll handle it. And then just turns on the bat signal and leaves back because
Yep.
he's done his job. And then the other is from The Dark Knight, the surveillance thing. And like,
the cameras everywhere.
that's immoral to do that. And I started laughing.
One other thing I really liked about it, the way they age up all the villains.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you do see like the sense of passage of time in that, rather than just, oh, it's 30 years later, they all look the same, because in comics, nobody ever ages at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're always perpetually young, and then you see like Poison Ivy, she's like an old grandmother.
Yeah.
Bane's muscles are kind of all flappy.
Yeah.
The Joker's, I don't know how to describe the Joker. He still looks older, but he's the Joker, so he can't really age that much.
True.
And the penguin and the penguin and the wee kind of mobility scooter.
Yeah. And when the villains finally capture him and they try to recruit him as a villain because of just all the menace that he has caused the city of Gotham, and they give him back his utility belt, but upgraded with a bunch of dangerous devices. And he ends up blowing up the utility belt. So thoughts on the scene, him denying them, and even later too, Batman coming to the rescue, that fight, the final fight.
I actually did like that scene. It was very cute, because you see, but once again, when you start to feel sorry, even though Damien's a menace in that film, he is meant to be the central character. You see him kind of like go,
right.
tears up, and then throws the belt at them. And then Joker goes, "Okay, who gets the kids' explosives?" He goes, "I think it's Bane." Raises his arm. And he goes, "Well, in fairness, yes, seemed like a good idea at the time." I was just like, it was just that wee throwaway line. Then the final sentence, like, "I'm not just some kid, Dad. I'm your kid." It's like, oh, it's just,
I know, right?
like, oh, God damn it.
And Batman gets knocked out, and you see Damien kicking some ass. And Batman's like, oh, my kid is actually pretty good. Like, let's do this together instead of. Batman kind of was distracted because he was trying to protect his son.
Yep. Oh, I was a line in it. It's not so much funny. It's kind of actually sad. It's when the penguin's coming towards him. He's like, I can't remember the exact line, but it's something about, I'd feel bad if my dad didn't throw me into a sewer or something like that. It's just like, Jesus, that's dark.
Right. And speaking of that, all the villains end up falling into that liquid vat. And Batman's line of, I wonder how many times like the Joker has fallen into that vat. He should do something about that.
It's quite a good wee parody scene. As I say, it's got a lot of wee callbacks and lots of wee bits that are very true to the characters. Yeah. And then lots of very self-referential. It knows exactly what it's doing all the times. It never feels like it's just pushing that line into complete parody.
Right, exactly.
But
you do get the references, so then if you've seen those movies or read those comics, you're like, oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah, you get those little bits and pieces here and there.
Mm-hmm. Well, they end up getting all the gifts that the villains have stole. They return all the gifts. Yay. They're there in the Batmobile. It's kind of like Santa's sleigh. And Damien feels bad for the Joker, and they end up having Christmas dinner with the Joker. That's the end there. And Damien even saying the joke that everyone who is a Batman fan is like, well, Batman and the Joker kind of really do like each other, even though they say they don't, and that they're mortal enemies. And you see that at the end there with even Damon's commentary.
Yep. Once again, coming back to the whole thing with the Joker and saying, oh, the villains are friends. It's like, well, him and Batman are really friends.
Right.
They do depend on each other in a very weird, perverse way.
Right, exactly. Well, any final thoughts on this movie?
Yeah, if you've got a spare hour 40, give or take, to watch it, definitely recommend it. It's a fun wee watch. Once again, if anyone's watching it and they get to the first 20, 30 minutes and go, how are you going to carry this on? Keep with it. It's worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it changes tone a lot throughout the movie.
It does. It has some fun moments of where you go to black and white and you're like, who's chasing Damien? And then it just ends up being Alfred. So like they have those moments too where it's like it seems scary, and then it's like, oh, it's just his dad, or oh, it's just Alfred. So there's those fun little moments there, and you really do get it from the perspective of Damien with all the fun stuff that they do in the film. Well, anyways, thank you, Chris, for being here with me for day 16 of 25 Days of Christmas here on Off the Wall. And make sure to tune in tomorrow for day 17.